morning, people. Yeah, it is morning. It's not that dark. I still get up and oh my god, it's early to go to work. But it's worse right now just because, well, it's winter time and pain in the butt. You can't see stuff. Dark when I go in, when I have to go in. Dark when I have to, dark when I get ready to come home. Makes life fun, and today's extra added bonus, as you can probably hear, is the fact that it's raining. So more than likely I'm already late and I'm just leaving. Now typically I'd be leaving with plenty of time because I got about an hour to get there. Today I'll be sitting in traffic. Kind of wanted to address a few things. I guess I better shut that back off. Thought I had the clock set on the radio. Somebody's kind of changed that for me. Actually, I think I did. And I didn't remember it until just now. Swapped out that battery and put the red top in. That's exactly what happened. I haven't reset it since then. Since I haven't driven this truck but maybe a handful of times since August, it's totally foreign to me again. Anyway, after a week solid of using it, I still love this iTaste VTR. This thing is just awesome. Baked really well. I'm still using the iClear 30S, and I had a problem. I've been getting some pretty good clouds out of it too. That's not even why I got this thing. The idea was actually to give me a vape that lasted longer than my MVP V2. My new batteries in that are 3400 milliamp hour batteries. Can't use them in my VTR that I intended to use them in. Why, you ask? Because 3400 milliamp hour isn't just something where you can just cram more juice into what's already there. It has to go somewhere. You have to have more material there. Makes sense. There's less than a quarter of an inch more battery, which is just enough that you can't shoehorn it in there or compress the springs anymore, so that you'll be able to close the lid. However, in my wife's Vamo, they work just fine. I got these in Monday. Of course, I've worked on the VTR some too, but I charged them up, put one of the 18650 3400 milliamp hour batteries in here Monday. I've been trying to mostly use this one. charm. I have noticed yesterday I was being extra hard on it, and I have noticed that this one, the bigger amp hour rating, does tend to get a little hotter a little quicker. Had this whole tube heated up yesterday. Not to the point you couldn't touch it, but it was plenty warm. Of course, this carbon fiber wrap helped out quite a bit with that too. You don't have the bare metal against your skin. You got a little barrier there. One of the things I wanted to discuss, I was asking about the liquid, that if you get the e-liquid on your skin, would it make you sick? I told them no, it won't make you sick, not at all. But just go wash your hands afterwards, don't touch your eyes or your mouth or anything, because it'll sting a little bit. Some genius is going around telling people that just a drop of pure nicotine would kill somebody. I wish I had a bottle of pure nicotine so I could take a drop of it right on the tongue and show you it ain't gonna kill anybody. It might taste nasty as crap. It might be like touching your tongue to a 9-volt battery, but it ain't gonna kill you. The most it would do is make you sick. See, that's what's so dangerous about all this stuff. You're not, when you tell people stuff that you just make up out of thin air, you're not just making yourself look like an idiot. You're making everybody that does all this stuff look like an idiot. And you don't really know much of nothing. And everybody gets that same perception of the other people that do this stuff. It's the disinformation, the wrong or made up stuff that does more harm than good. People that don't really have anything, don't really have an agenda, or don't really have anything set in mind to talk about. Just throwing it off the cuff. But that don't stop them from talking. I like hearing their own voice, I guess. And yes, I know you can't see it right now, but I am participating fully in Movember. It's not just me being lazy. That was last month. Yeah. Knock on a hot seat. Alright. Sun never did come out today. I've had the whopperest headache. But having to drive to Nashville for a foot-long sub, basically, wasn't really worth it, but it was kind of neat to hear all the updates that they were talking about. Had a podcast we listened to live in the middle of our meeting, and supposedly the company's doing really, really good. That's a positive thing, because if they're doing really good, eventually we'll be doing really good. But we don't want to get too greedy. Of course, they have passed the rule now. It's official. You can't smoke e-cigarettes in the office anymore. So you guys know me. That just means you weren't able to see me smoking it. Otherwise, I'd have left at lunchtime when one of my bosses, told me I could go. I was like, no, I'm good. Take a big old draw off it, spit it out underneath the desk. That was pretty good. Because it evaporates before it can rise back up. Now, if it was a cigarette, a real cigarette, it wouldn't have done that. It would have stunk for starters. And it would have rose back out from under the desk and maybe even set the doggone fire alarms off. Who knows? But I haven't been over here to Nashville Vapors for a while. So, if they're still there, I'm fixing to go find out. Don't have a whole lot of gas to be screwing around with, but I don't need to. I don't usually go anywhere. The only reason I did today was because they told me I had to. Oh! Also, those mini computers, little super thin, like 5.5 inch, maybe 6 inch wide desktops. I am now recipient of one of them. So if I ever have to come back in, I'm perfectly mobile to do so. I don't have a laptop or anything, but that's the next best thing to having a laptop. Because as light and small as it is, it's super easy just to move the thing. Pick it up, unplug all the cables, out the door you go. They got the same cables, mouse and keyboard and monitors even here. Incidentally, all this has been accumulating for about 6 weeks. It doesn't grow out super bushy. Now, I did trim it up a couple times because I can't stand when mustache gets long enough that it's actually curling into your mouth. You're standing there talking and it's going, hey, trying to hook your lip and all. So I always trim that. And according to the rules of Movember or No Shave November, depending on which one you're doing, you're not allowed to shave it, but you can trim it a little bit for things like that if it gets in your mouth or whatever. And the cool thing is you don't have to do any particular style, just let it grow. Now, I did shave a little bit, or trim up a little bit down here, because once it started getting really long, I had a few hairs that grow like 3 times faster than any of the other ones. So once it started getting longer, I clipped those off with the beard trimmer. And since today is the 21st? Yeah, tomorrow's my mom's birthday. Today's the 21st of November. Or Movember, however you want to say it. I actually decided to participate this year just because of the fact that, one, I was working from home and I wasn't shaving anyway. So I figured, why not? What's a few more weeks of not shaving? I had done 2 and I was really pretty shaggy. But then Charles Trippy came on and decided that he was going to do the No Shave November, and his dad and all them, for brain cancer awareness. of a sudden I had a cause. Now, I don't know anybody besides Charles, and I don't really know him. I've met him, a really super nice guy. But other than him, I don't know anybody else that's had brain cancer. But if me letting myself look all scruffy and nasty for a few weeks raises awareness and it helps out a little bit, why not? This is the first time I've had to come into my job since August when I started. So it's not like I'm offending anybody by not shaving, and if I do, so what? If they ask me about it, I'll tell them. Look, No Shave November, brain cancer awareness. Hello. It's also, I think it was No Shave November is for men's prostate health. You rotten. Oh, yeah, just jump the light. Nobody else wants to turn. Ignorant people, I swear to God. Anyway, I let one guy go across the intersection in front of me because the light was changing and I didn't want him to have to wait. I hate that when it happens and the light changes and you're out in the middle of the intersection. Let one guy go. 5 cars turned, 4 of them after him. Yeah, wasn't real happy about that. It's done. Anyway, going in here in Nashville Vapors to get me another little bottle of their blend, master blend. Well, their prices are slowly creeping back up again, but I think everybody's are, to be honest about it. I'm pretty happy about having the compact computer. I think they called it a mini tower. But I think it's actually a micro tower. And I like the fact that I got it, because now I can take the thing out. Anytime they want me to come to work, just reach up and unplug the plug, snatch the tower, pull the plugs, and away I go. The cool thing is, most of them do not come with a DVD drive. This one has a sleeve that you slide over it that's actually got a DVD drive in it. The cool thing is, the DVD drive will work on anything. It's a USB 3.0 and ooh, buddy, getting a little too close for my liking. I was hoping to get some more of these tanks. The Kanger T3S didn't have any. So not only are they getting more expensive, they're also carrying less and less of the type of things that I actually look for. Not the biggest problem in the world. They do carry the VTR. They don't carry a different battery that'll go in it besides the 2000 milliamp hour battery. This battery is the 18650B, which I had to explain to the gentleman is about a 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to have to buy more 2000 milliamp 18650s, then I'm going to get them from somewhere reputable, somewhere we've had a lot of good luck with. But it wasn't a total loss. I actually got my 6 milligram master blend. I only get this every so often. it's supposed to imitate a tobacco, but I'm not real big on the tobacco flavors, so I really don't care about the tobacco part of it. There's something else in there that I really like. Part of the other part of the blend. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to talk about. I had somebody tell me, because I had gone completely to zero nicotine for a while, but I was burning up my coils right and left. I mean, just drop of a hat, 2 days, boom, gone. Rubber boot in there melted, or a little wire would snap and you'd hear it, think, oh no, that wasn't the coil popping. Sit there and just reef on it, trying to get a hit out of it, and it's not working. Put another coil in, boom, you're ready to go again. Last 2 days, burn up. I was told that by one of these e-cigarette companies, e-juice companies, chemist, that you need at least some nicotine in the e-liquid. The reason being, if you don't have some in there, supposedly, and I'm not sure the chemical makeup or how it all happens or what the reaction is or anything else, but supposedly the chemical reaction between the nicotine, the even low levels, and the coil wire, it keeps it cooler, helps it not burn up quite so fast. Didn't believe it, put it to the test. Started getting 6 milligram e-liquids. I'll have coils last me a couple months now. Some of them. That's a happy ending from Pink Spot Vapors. Don't recommend it. The juice is phenomenal. I love it. Love it. Don't recommend it because a little bottle like so, $6 and some odd cents, almost $7 to send it here from Las Vegas. Now, supposedly the reason it costs that is because they put it in one of those if it fits, it ships boxes. And the reason they do everything in those is because it's pretty much the same price across the board. Well, that's all fine, well and good, but when all I'm ordering is one little bottle of $25 e-liquid, I don't want to spend the same thing that a guy that's buying 3 or 4 mods in the cases that weigh like 20 pounds has to pay for his. He should have to pay more. Anybody else that ships stuff to me don't charge me a thing for shipping, and I get the juice, and a lot of times next day. Of course, a lot of the juices that I order come from Nashville. Kind of convenient how that works out, isn't it? Down in them lungs, blow some of this crap out. Man, I don't know what the deal was today. Sitting right there by my boss and his boss, taking calls all morning. Well, most of it, once I figured out where I was sitting. I told my boss, he messaged me and, oh, well, these desks over here are all 3 open, and there's one over here that's open too. I get this at like almost 7 o'clock this morning. I'm like, you know what? This would have been information that was useful to me yesterday. I figured it out, and that's where I sat. And it was one of those things that somebody could have told me. Just so happened I left my computer and my phone and headset over there on purpose, thinking that that's probably where I was going to sit to begin with. But anyhow, getting back to this, the coils last 3 or 4 times longer when you use the at least 6 milligram e-liquid. There are times that I will switch up to 12 milligram e-liquid. The stuff that was sent with this when I got it was 12 milligram. Of course, nobody asked. He didn't send me a thing saying, oh, hey, what kind of juice or what level nicotine juice do you have? We'll send you a little sample bottle, which I appreciated it, but it was 12 mil and kind of stout compared to what I'm used to. I've gotten to where I don't have to have the nicotine. I mean, I kind of snuck a couple of puffs at work and blew it under the desk because it all dissipates and nobody's any the wiser. Home, I can just sit there and just keep puffing away on the thing and nobody says a word because most everybody in the house does this too. The main thing with all this, with this video, I wanted to do is wanted to dispel all the disinformation, the wrong information that people have been asking me over the last week, maybe 2. Stuff that I've actually heard myself that's just garbage. Like the deal about 1 drop of pure nicotine being able to kill a man. No. You couldn't even kill a dog or a cat or maybe even not even a rabbit with a drop. You might make them super sick, but you're not going to kill them. It is highly toxic, but according to the research that I looked at, it would actually take 30 to 60 milligrams of pure nicotine to kill a person. That's 6 milligrams in here, which probably about half a teaspoon for 6 milligrams, maybe, if that. That might actually be a little much, but 30 to 60 mil, you're looking at like a big bottle, or like the big bottles I've got at home, or a little kid's cup. You'd have to have it sitting there in the open and somebody just walk up and down the thing, not even thinking or asking about it, and they could die that way. Disclaimer, I do not leave pure nicotine sitting out on the counter for somebody to drink and die from. The stuff's actually literally is highly toxic, and 30 to 60 milliliters or milligrams, I think it said, you will kill somebody with that. But it takes quite a bit more than just a little drop or 2. So that one, the information wasn't really wrong. It's just like with everything else that comes from that source, it was super exaggerated. Second thing I wanted to address, I may tell you guys things from time to time on these videos that you find out later are incorrect, outright wrong, whatever. I'm not going to get upset if you tell me I'm wrong and show me why I'm wrong. Give me a link or something now that you can do that on YouTube, and I'll do another whole video about it. and say, look, I was wrong. So-and-so showed me this. This is why I was wrong. I don't care to do that. Heck, if I can learn a little something in the process too, that's great. But I do not purposely get on here and make up stuff because I like the sound of my own voice or because I've got nothing else to come up with, nothing else to tell you. That's all I'm saying on that. Actually, no, it's not. If I tell you something that's wrong or it sounds like a bunch of made up crap, confront me with it. Don't be ugly about it, because I will listen to you. But confront me with it. I'll just sit there, oh well, you're wrong, you're stupid, and I don't like your looks or whatever. That doesn't help any. I got a little troll that pops up on here every once in a while. It doesn't bother me. I actually think it's kind of funny, especially when he's sitting there like this last video that he commented on, popping off about how I got the Chinese version of the MVP V2 because it's not in a clear case. It's in a clear case. It don't get much clearer. You're not bugging me. That was just stupid. I got no real room for that. That's idiotic. Typically, if I respond, it's like, well, it is clear. Duh, stupid. I try not to be insulting about it, but I will say something like, excuse me, it is clear. It doesn't get much clearer than that. Some people, I'll tell you. And I mean, I don't get upset or offended when somebody shows me how or why I'm wrong. Because again, we can all learn from something learn a little something that way. Now, just because somebody sends me a link where a website says such and such, don't mean that I'm going to go right back and make another video and say, oh, well, I was wrong and here's why. Because when you confront me with something like that, not to be a pain in the butt or to try and prove you wrong, what I'm going to do so that I know I'm not doling out misinformation from somebody else is I'm going to go look it up myself from several different sources. I'm not able to find anything else. You might hear a little bit of something about it, but I'm not going to go on and on and on because I don't know for a fact from what I researched that those statements are fact. And if I don't know they're fact, I'm not going to stand here and say this is how it is. Here's where it shows me that this is how it is and why. It's just kind of silly. So, anyway. Well, that's pretty much the long and short of it, or I guess in this case, the long and long of it. If you're new to the channel, which I haven't had a new person on here in a couple of weeks, so I'm doubting that's the case. But in the event that you actually happen to be new, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and if you like the video, hit like. That kind of helps let me know that I'm on to the right thing and doing what people like seeing. I thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will